every year 50 lakh students pass out from the BTech college itself, and most of them following the same old path. And if some students try to walk on the different path, then it becomes impossible to break that bubble.
My name is Vikram Palar Kumar, and I got placed at the Financial Conduct Authority in London. This is not going to be conventional advice. College jao, DSA karo. I didn't want to be a part of the rat race where we wrote learn all these formulas for DSA and then we try to perform well in the interviews. This journey wasn't exactly easy, but let me give you some tips so that if you're interested, you can also go down the same path as me. I'll try to break it down into 3 steps. So basically, this is the hardest part, how I shifted from applying for on-campus to off-campus. When I first came to college, I indulged in a bit of fun, a bit too much, and due to this reason, my CGPA also dropped sadly. So by the end of the first year, I was a bit scared. So between second year and third year, I started asking my seniors as to what's important for on-campus placements. And basically the answer they gave me was CG. And sadly my CG had dropped. So I had to find another way to improve my resume. So I started asking for more advice from seniors, and what some of them said was job experience is a bit more important than CGPA. So I started applying for quite a few jobs in any job website I could, Indeed, Glassdoor, there were quite a few. My Gmail was basically filled with job offers and I kept applying. At one point, I even stopped going to class. I just kept applying for jobs. I applied for 7 to 8 jobs during the night time. I did the coding rounds in the morning, and then the cycle kept repeating basically. In the initial stages, I was applying for a lot of Indian companies and I did keep getting rejected. So while I was applying for the internships in India, what I got to know from my seniors and from my own experience was the base is very low here, and they also demanded that you have to know proper DSA, both of which I did not exactly like. So I did a bit more research. I found out that one senior did an internship outside India. So this kind of made me interested. I did my own research online, and then I also started applying for internships outside India. This kept on going and I kept on getting rejected until I finally made my breakthrough. So I did my first unpaid internship at Datus 360. I didn't do this for the money. I basically did it for the experience. I also did 2 to 3 unpaid internships after this. And this is what led me to getting my first paid internship between second and third year. So the first 3 to 4 unpaid internships I did were all based in England because ultimately that's where I wanted to work by the end of everything. So after those unpaid internships, I started applying for paid internships. I knew I had good communication skills and I was a little bit weaker on the technical knowledge. So I was looking for internships which fitted both these niches. So I stumbled across a teaching internship for Brighton College in UK. And I thought this would be a pretty good opportunity for me to greatly enhance my CV because it's teaching Python to kids around from year 6 to year 12. So I tried to shoot my shot. I gave the interview. I kind of was not having high expectations, but thankfully I did crack it. And that's how I got my first paid internship in Brighton College. And the pay was around 2.4 lakh for 2 weeks of teaching them. So what I'm leading to is there are internships for students, especially there are some which ask for only international students, for which you have a pretty high chance of getting selected as long as your CV is pretty good. Even if it's not exactly paid at first, I'd say go ahead and do it just to improve your CV. So here's the mistake most students make. They focus too much on DSA and they turn it into a rat race where that's all they do. But I positioned myself differently. I looked at where I have a passion for. And the passion I had is for AI and ML training, testing and all these sorts of stuff. So at this time, I got 2 offers. One was from Sony Ericsson, which I'd gotten through a referral. And the other was the FCA, for which I had applied for. So the Sony Ericsson one had a lot more STE than the FCA one, which was more AI ML related and a bit of finance mixed with tech. So it was basically the fintech sector. And I basically chose the FCA because of location. I wanted to work in London. And 2, the pay was also higher. And 3, I'd say the work-life balance would be better there. And that's why I went for the FCA. So the reason I got selected for the FCA, I had no referrals for this one. I would say it's basically because of the previous internships I did. So in a nutshell, the unpaid internships I did helped me get the first paid internship where I taught Python. And all of these internships together helped convince the FCA that I was a candidate who had proper work experience And using these experiences, I would definitely be an asset to them. I convinced this during their interview, and I'd say that's how I got selected at the FCA. So here's the part you've been waiting for, the breakdown. So FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority, is an independent regulatory body which is separate from the government, but you also get additional benefits which you would get from any government job, like pensions. So the breakdown is around, you'd get 45 lakh in hand plus 5 lakh additional benefits in the form of them giving you money to buy laptops and all those stuff with which you would work, and also pension. So to conclude, I would like to give one advice. If DSA is your passion, go ahead, go all in for DSA. If you get a good company which is paying you well for good working hours and DSA really is your passion, go ahead. But this path isn't exactly for everyone. If you feel like you want to do something different, get out of the rat race, I would say this is the path I'd recommend for you. Do some unpaid internships where you feel like you have a passion for. Try to make it to a paid internship, and try to increase your CV to get a proper decent internship with which you would be happy with, basically.
So this is the college story. I hope you learned something from this video, especially how to get the internship and placement in the foreign, specifically off campus. So if you're still confused about what to do in the college and what to not do college, then check this video. I will see you in the next video.